This video is packed with tons of Dollar Tree crafts you are going to love.
All right, so for this DIY, I am going to take 4 of these chalkboard little planks that you can find at Dollar Tree, remove the back from them, and then we are going to join them together using hot glue, making a window, like a little 4-pane window. To make it a little bit more secure, I am going to hot glue some of these extra large crafting sticks to the back where all the panes join. And now I am going to give it 3 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I am now going to create a very simple but very spring-like beautiful wreath using this wreath form from Amazon. Now I know Dollar Tree carries them as well, the smaller kind. And I'm just going to take some of these flowers from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to start placing them kind of like just very natural looking. I'm going to take some yellow ones and some white ones and just start placing them towards the right side of the wreath, a little bit fuller on the top than on the bottom. I am then going to take some of this beautiful ribbon from the Dollar Tree and make a very simple bow and hot glue it to the center. I am now going to hot glue the wreath right in the center of the window, and then I'm going to add some jute twine to the back of the window so that I can hang it on the wall. And that's it for this one, guys. I think this one is so beautiful. I love how bright and airy it is. I love that I didn't distress the window. I kept it pure white and it just looks so stunning. For this next DIY, I am going to take this box sign from the Dollar Tree, remove, of course, the plastic covering, and then I'm also going to remove the black border from the front. You say, take me on a treasure hunt. I'm going to sand down just a little bit the residual glue as well as any paper that kind of lifted up. Now I am going to place some wood stick glue onto the front and I am going to resurface it with crafting paper from Michaels. And now I'm just going to wrap it around to the sides. So I'm just going to make some slits and then start folding up and gluing the sides onto the box. I am now going to take this little jar. It almost looks like a chemistry kind of little jar. I found these at Michael's and they were on sale for $1 and I just thought they were so cute. I'm going to use one of them here. And I'm just going to mark and make holes right where I need to place some jute twine so that I can tie it around the jar. Now I am going to hot glue the jar as well to make sure that it is safe and is not going to fall. I don't think the jute twine itself is going to be strong enough to hold it, so I'm going to hot glue it as well. And I'm just going to tie it in the front with a very simple bow. To finish it off, I'm going to add some of these beautiful flowers from the Dollar Tree and call it a day. This one is so cute, so simple, and yet so fresh looking. I think 2 of these will look beautiful as a set. Alright, for this next DIY, I am going to take this leftover canvas frame from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to stain it using Waverly Antiquing Wax. Once the stain was fully dry, I'm now going to do a heavy dry brush of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I am now going to take this metal flower from the Dollar Tree, remove the stem from it because I'm only going to need the flower portion of it. And then I am going to give it one good coat of Behr paint in the Mossy Bench. This is by far one of my favorite colors and it's by Behr. It's called Mossy Bench and it is beautiful. I'm going to take some white paint from Rust-Oleum, the linen white, and I'm just going to trace the center of it so that it is nicely white there in the center. These green leaves are from the Dollar General. I'm just going to hot glue one going up, the other one going to the side on the bottom right corner of the frame. And then I'm going to hot glue the flower right in that corner. And that's it for this one, guys. Another very simple one, but so fresh looking and is so adorable. I love that the green and the Mossy Bench, like that teal color, just kind of blend together in a very contrast way, which is so weird. But I just love the way the combination looks. For this next DIY, I am going to use this tin bucket from the Target dollar spot. I'm going to remove the handle from it and then give the bottom portion of it, except for maybe 1 inch on the top, 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I am now going to take this fabric that I get at Walmart. They come in little bundles and I'm just going to cut a piece of it. I'm going to make a liner for the inside of the tin bucket. Now I did the same thing on my last project that I created a liner for and I made it too short, so I did have to patch it up in the end. But what I'm doing here is I'm creating a seam, so I'm just going to hot glue and fold about a 1/2 inch down so that way it creates a nice seam. I'm going to place it inside and fold it outwards and then hot glue it in place so that it does not move on me. And like I said, I cut it way too short, so I had to do a smaller one to patch it up in the back. Once I get this all set up, I'm just going to place some florals inside, and that's it for this one. Another such an easy one, but truly beautiful way to use these teen buckets that we know we can find so many places like Dollar Tree as well. And imagine having several of these lined up together. I think that would look beautiful.
Take a step into the river, get down on your knees, come to the mountain while taking in the view. You will find that life is greater than you knew. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight.
Alright friends, for this next DIY, I am going to use this canvas frame sign from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I am now going to take this round brush, it's like a waxing brush, and I'm just going to make stripes going down about maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches apart from each other. Now this gray is by Rust-Oleum chalk paint, and it's their country gray.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well.
I am now going to take this decal from the Dollar Tree. I've already used a portion of it, but I'm going to use another portion of it and place it right on the right side towards the bottom of the canvas, and that's it. Does it get any easier than this, guys? Seriously, so easy and so cute. I love the way this one turned out. I love the gray, white, and black combination, and then that pink flower just topped it off.
Driving this like a spiritual cleanse, where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away.
For this next DIY, I am going to take these 3 terracotta pots from the Dollar Tree and give them 1 coat of the Bare Mossy Bench paint.
You as you drive, do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet.
I am now going to take this French script stencil that I purchased on Amazon quite a bit ago, and I'm just going to start kind of stenciling it, but almost dry brushing it. I just want this to be very faint, and I'm going to stencil this very randomly in different areas of each pot. That way it looks like it's been there for a while and it's kind of faded through the years.
And we just sing along, and I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever, forever, forever.
Now I'm going to take some jute twine and I'm going to wrap it around 3 times, make a simple bow in the front. Just make sure that if you're going to recreate something like this, that you are tying the bow in the area where you really want that pot to shine. So just find the best area that is stenciled and then make the bow there. And I did the same thing on the other 2 pots.
I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything is complete. Do you know
Once I was done with the third one, I just added some florals, and that's it for this one, guys. Another beautiful, easy one, and so cute. I just love that blue color. That teal color is just gorgeous.
This moment, can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. Forever. Forever.
For this next DIY, I am going to take this little container from the Dollar Tree. It's in their party section and comes 2 in a pack. And I'm going to give it 3 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
I've been lying here for too long. I don't know what else to do. I wanna get away from every little thing just to try to make it through.
I am now going to take a sponge applicator and some Waverly chalk paint in the ink. And I am going to just start making V's, kind of like the shape of a V, all around the top rim, and then one more line underneath that one.
I've been thinking about my options, every detail in my head, but it doesn't really matter, nothing matters, so I cry instead.
When I was done doing the second row, I was done, guys. Again, these are so easy, guys. Anyone can make, truly no skill required. It's just so beautiful. This little container looks like it came from a high-end store, and I love it.
Running circles, trying to catch my breath. I've been trying everything I can, but I ain't got nothing left. I've been staring at the ceiling. I've been staying up on.
All right, for this next DIY, I'm going to take this children puzzle from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove all the letters from it, flip it to its back, and give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Using my Cricut, I cut 4 little bunnies, and these will represent my cute little family here with daddy, mommy, my son, and my daughter. I just think they're so cute. I love this vinyl too. This one is from Cricut. And I'm just going to place them towards the left bottom side of the sign. I also cut our last name in black, and I am going to place it above the bunnies. I'm going to hot glue some cottontails on each bunny, and I'm going to, for the kids, I'm just going to cut pieces of the cotton, they're not even cotton, they're like more like pom-poms, and place them just a little smaller because they're smaller, and trim it around as needed. To the right side of the design, I am going to place some florals. This greenery leaves are from Amazon, and then I'm going to place some white little flowers from Dollar Tree, hot glue it in place, and then make a very simple jute twine bow and hot glue it to the stem of the florals. Because I am going to keep this sign for our family, I'm not going to give it away or sell it. I'm not going to cover the back portion where it has the colorful alphabet portion. But if I were to sell it or give it away, I would have covered the back side using some fabric. For this next DIY, I'm going to take 2 of these wooden arrows from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut off the little end corners here just so that it fits in my miter box. I'm going to cut them so that I have a rectangle. I'm going to sand down the edges just a little bit so that they are smooth, and then I'm going to stain them using Rust-Oleum aged glaze. This is in their like grayish tone, and just let it dry. It's really easy to use, this glaze. I really like that it doesn't have a strong scent, and it's water based, so it's easy to clean up off of your hands. I'm going to now drill more holes on the boards. I want this to have 4 holes. Now 2 of them were already on there, but I wanted to make them bigger, and then one of them almost broke. So I just ended up drilling another hole in front of the original one. Sand it down just to make sure, again, that it is smooth. And then I'm going to use some jute twine from Amazon. This is the black jute twine, and I'm just going to thread it through this ring that I got so long ago. It was from a curtain rings, and I have them left over. I'm going to loop it through, so now I have 4 strands, and that way they're nicely long, because I'm not sure how long I want these shelves to be. I'm going to thread them through the hole. Now for the first shelf, I tied both strings together, but then I ended up changing my mind, and I switched it up to where I just tie it around the around each other, and I'm going to show you how I do it here in a minute. And that way it gives you 2 ways you can do it. You can knot it too, so that it doesn't thread through the hole. However, the knots were a little bit too small, and it was coming right through, and I didn't want to make a huge knot. So I thought about then again tying them together like this, but then you can see it from the front. So I was just trying to see which way would work best, and then I ended up just tying them around to each other. For this other one, instead of tying them together, I'm just going to tie it around to each one, just like that. And that way, it just didn't have that tie knot on the bottom that you can see. But I think these turned out super cute. It's great for little tiny flowers. The succulent from Dollar Tree is perfect on these. I really love the way they turned out. Almost like a farmhouse, like a modern farmhouse look. All right, for this next DIY, I'm going to use this Dollar Tree wooden flower, and I am going to trace it on this craft paper that I got at Michael's. Then I am going to cut it to size and glue it using glue stick.
Lost road, crossroad, ocean and sky. Soul searching, soul hurting, fire and ice. Raindrops, teardrops, a good old cry.
Here I'm just making sure that nothing is lifted up, that everything is flat, and that any excess glue would be out. And then I'm going to use my X-Acto knife just to make sure that the outside details, like the edges, are nicely cut and trimmed. After that, we are going to add some tiny little legs just using these wood beads. This is going to be like a decor riser where you can place florals or a vase or whatever you'd like to use it for, but I think it turned out absolutely adorable. I love the gold tone of the craft paper. Why it's going to be another very simple one. I'm going to use one of these flat canvases from the Dollar Tree, and then one of these leftover garden fence that the Dollar Tree carries. I recently made a wreath with half of it, so this is the remaining part of it. And I know everyone is using these fences, but hey, I had this one left over, so why not? So I'm going to cut out just one of those rounded sides and just make sure that I cut off any excess fence that is on it and make it as smooth as possible. Then I'm just going to place some hot glue on the back and place it right on top of the canvas. I'm going to make a very simple floral arrangement. I'm going to take these 2 leaf picks from Amazon, and I am going to just tie them and join them together using jute twine, hot glue it to the bottom, and then I'm going to take a leftover sunflower from the Dollar General, place it right on the center, and then I'm going to place some jute twine on the back to be able to hang it, and that's it. It does not get easier than this, guys. Truly, so easy.
Come to the water where you will find peace. Take a step into the river. Get down on your knees. Come to the mountain. Well, take it in the view. You will find that life is greater than you knew. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay.
This is going to be another simple, very easy DIY. I'm going to take these pages from a book from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to just roll them, and then I am going to tie some jute twine around, and I'm going to make 3 of these.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help.
I am then going to take this greenery. This is like a faux lavender, and these leftover greenery, I don't know where it's from. I'm going to join them together again using some jute twine, and then I am going to take one of the Dollar Tree jars, and I'm going to hot glue it, the arrangement at an angle, and then I'm going to wrap it with some more jute twine.
Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on. I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling.
And then once I'm done, I'm just going to place those rolled up book pages right inside, and it turns into this beautiful little flower arrangement that I think looks so fresh and so cute.
This moment, can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever?
Alright, for this next DIY, I am going to take this thrifted bamboo mat and one of these Dollar Tree vases, and I'm going to just wrap it with this mat. So I'm going to cut what I need and then hot glue it in about 3 or 4 places to secure it, and then cut any excess mat from both the top and the bottom. I am now going to take this Dollar Tree lace ribbon, and I'm just going to tie it on in the middle and make a very simple bow. And that's it, guys. I'm going to add a floral or a flower from the Target dollar spot, and that's it. Such a beautiful vase, so unique, and it has like a tropical feel to it, doesn't it? Alright guys, so now on to the unusual wreath. I am going to take this thrifted basket that I actually painted. a while ago. Oh my gosh. And then I'm going to take this coconut liner from the Dollar Tree. I pulled it apart from one of those, like cocoa liners that the Dollar Tree sells in the spring. And I'm going to now kind of turn it and twist it to make it look like a little bird's nest. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the bottom of the basket.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe. Striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my
I am now going to take these branches from a Dollar General pick that I got. I think it was at the end of their Christmas season. I don't know why they had them in the Christmas season, but I just think they look springy and green, so I'm going to use them. And I'm just going to start placing them where I see fit. So I think it turned out being like maybe 3 on one side and 2 on the other.
We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause
What I try to keep in mind when I'm creating wreaths is to make it look very natural. I like when things look like they've just been around in nature and it's just not perfect, but it just looks, I don't know, I guess just the best word to describe is very natural. So now I'm going to take these flowers from the Dollar Tree and I am going to just place them. Again, just start eyeing them out, placing them where I think it will look nice and very natural to the shape of the wreath as well as around the bird's nest.
sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We never need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. The summer night, the summer night, the summer night.
I am now going to take the welcome portion of this bee sign from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the bee as well as the rounded hanging portion of it. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the front of the wreath.
Someday we will look back, and our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember all that happened to us. 'Cause I wanna try.
Now I'm going to take 3 of those wooden beads and I'm going to use them as little eggs. I'm going to try to hide the little hole where you can't see it. But don't they look super adorable? This is probably my favorite part of the whole wreath is these little tiny eggs inside this bird's nest. So stinking cute. To finish it off, I'm going to add some more of that Dollar Tree lace ribbon. I'm going to thread it through the handles to make sure that they're nicely secure in there. And then that's it. We're done with this one. I love this wreath. I wish I can keep it. I'm not going to keep it because I already have something for my wreath front door decor, and I'm going to sell this one. But gosh, I think it turned out so adorable, so cute, and what a great way to use this basket that I hadn't used in months. All right, we're going to start with the frame that unfortunately it was broken, but I did remove the back from it and I removed everything from it. And I'm just going to keep the frame because we are going to make a little hexagon wall decor. I'm going to give the frame 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white and let it fully dry.
I know the reason why we chose to say goodbye, but I can
I am then going to take some burlap ribbon and I am going to make a bow, just a simple bow. I like to loop it like one of those awareness ribbon, scrunch it in the middle and tie it. This is going to be a little bit on the bigger side, but I think it's just going to look really cool when it's dangling down on the bottom of the hexagon. So once I have it tight and secured in the center, then I'm just going to take some of that Ace bandage wrap. I found a way to use it. I'm going to cut a small piece from it. Actually, it could have been smaller. And I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom. This is going to serve to give me something for that hot glue and bow to stick on. But it actually worked out perfect because when I'm going to be putting in some of the greenery in here, and it was so easy to just slide it in there and it held really well. So I don't know, I may have come up with some clever way to use this Ace bandage because it was really easy to just, like I said, slide some stems in there, and you see it in a little bit. So once I had the Ace bandage secured on the frame, I'm just going to add some hot glue and attach the bow. So here's the greenery that Sarah sent me. I'm just going to cut a couple of these stems and I'm just going to, like I said, just slide them in right in between the frame and the Ace bandage, and I think that worked out super well, and I did the same thing on the other side. Using a serrated knife, I am going to cut one of the lemons that Sarah sent me in half. And of course, be very careful if you're going to do this. At first, I thought I would use both halves. I ended up just using one, but nonetheless, we're gonna do something here with both halves of the lemon. I'm going to take some golden foil leaves in some Mod Podge and I am going to start applying it on the lemons. Now this is very tricky sometimes to use. It's not hard. It's just tricky. It's sticky and it flies everywhere, but the end result is always beautiful. So you've never used it. This is only my second time using it. So I'm not the most expert gold leafing person, but I am using some gloves. That way I don't get Mod Podge all over my beautiful nails, which I'll talk to you here in a little bit. But yeah, I'm just going to start placing some of the leaves all over the lemons and let them dry.
right now I can't deny you never left my mind, and now my heart is bleeding.
Once the Mod Podge was dry, I am going to hot glue, again, one of those halves right in the center of the bow. I think it looks super cute. I am going to use some of that faux leather ribbon, and I am going to just trim the upper part of the hexagon. So you're going to see that I am going to do a total of 2 sides, because the top side, it's going to be like a loop. That way I can hang it from there. So as you can see here, I just cut it enough where I had enough to cover 2 sides on each side, like you can see, and then I'm still going to have enough to loop on the top.
Guess I was just a young girl living in a dream world. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price.
I'm going to take some of these yellow flowers that I recently got at Walmart, and I am just going to again slide one little stem in each side right through that Ace bandage, and that way it just adds a little bit more of texture and that yellow tone that I think looks so beautiful. I did decide to add a couple of tiny little stems from a boxwood pig just on each side of the lemon, just to add again a little bit more texture and color to that center bow. And I think this turned out beautiful. What a beautiful wall decor, bright and airy, perfect for summer.
I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next
this next DIY, I am going to take one of these Dollar Tree wreath forms. Now, it is not the perfect circle, so because I couldn't get it to be into a circle, I'm going to do a little trick here that I did very recently on another wreath form, and that is to split it on the top. So first, we're going to tie two spots close to each other on the top, because that way when I cut the wreath in half, or just that top part, it's not going to come apart on me. So I'm going to use my shears here, and a lot of these supplies that I use today I do have on my Amazon store, so check it out. I do have it down in the description box as well. So now that I have the wreath split on the top, I am going to wrap some nautical rope that I had left over from another project. I did have two pieces, so one of them I'm going to have kind of like sticking out long ways, as you can see, and then the other part I'm going to just wrap it around and secure it with hot glue, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors.
I'm going to take some more of that burlap ribbon. I'm going to make a simple bow once again. This one's going to be a little smaller. And then again, use some jute cord to tie it and secure it in the center. Then I'm going to take that little pet bandana that Sarah sent me, and I'm going to just wrap it kind of like what you see here. Just roll it around. I'm going to take some of that yarn and use it to tie it. I'm going to make this bandana into a small bow. So again, I'm going to use the same technique. Just loop it around like an awareness ribbon, tie it in the center, and then flip fit as needed. And then I'm just going to hot glue all the bows onto the wreath form.
Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire.
I'm going to take some more of that greenery that Sarah sent me. I'm going to cut two little picks, and I'm going to place them right there behind the bow on each side, just using a little bit of hot glue.
I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay, or take me away. I want you for myself every single day.
And then to finish it off, I'm just going to tie into a knot both ends of the wreath, and that's it. This one turned out so cute. I love the colors. I actually do. I think it's like a very muted summer colors, and I love that bandana, how it actually looks really cool. I think I might do this again with maybe with different prints on different bandanas, but I love the way this turned out.
My world's on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know what
DIY is going to be very simple. I'm going to take the bamboo cutting board and 8 of these little blocks that you can get at the Dollar Tree. They're like part of a brain gains, I think it's called. And I'm just going to hot glue 2 in each corner, and we're going to make a little decor riser. Once I have the blocks all attached, I am going to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
I'm walking down the street on clouds instead of the concrete I'm dancing through. Everything's about to come my way. Nothing can ruin my day, no matter what anyone does or say. I smile at fools. No, I don't care, 'cause I am on my way up, and I won't stop, I won't slow down. Steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop.
Once the paint was dry, I am going to use some of those gold little rub-ons that Sarah sent me, and I'm just going to start rubbing them on towards the left bottom, or not left, right bottom corner of the riser.
Time. 'Cause I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like when nothing goes your way. So I'm gonna let myself enjoy the fruit from this lucky day. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down. street with all of my favorite songs on repeat.
And once I had it where I wanted it, which was just very delicate, very simple, that's it. I'm going to leave it just like this. You can also seal it if you'd like. I just left it like this, but for now, but maybe later on I'll seal it. But look how beautiful it looks. So simple, so chic, and I love decor risers. I've been a little bit obsessed with them.
Through. Everything's about to come my way, and I don't care if you spill coffee on me or if the sky is gray or blue. No, I don't care, 'cause I am on my way up, and I won't stop, I won't slow down. Steady.
For this next DIY, I am going to take half of the flower stickers that Sarah sent me, and I am going to give them 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the linen white.
lot of bad things, and never did I give in, just 'cause the thought
I'm going to take one of these glass vases from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to start sticking them kind of at an angle going upwards, and that's it. This is probably one of the simplest, easiest DIYs ever. So basically, I just painted them. Now I am unsticking them and then sticking them. Now you can paint these flowers in any color you want. I decided to go with white because I love white, but I think it would look very pretty, almost in an ombre look. So if you start like dark or light and then work your way up to a darker color, oof, that would be beautiful. So anyways, just a very simple DIY and cute way to customize this little vase, and how gorgeous is it? I love, love, love the way it turned out.
made me feel less than I am. I have never felt home till you entered my door, and from that moment I knew that a home is whatever you choose. That's the thing about you. The big thing
For this next DIY, I am going to take the galvanized arrow that Sarah sent me and a Dollar Tree. It's like a 4th of July sign. And I'm going to temporarily tape it here because what I'm going to do is I want to trace a larger arrow around the arrow. So we're going to make this arrow look a little bit bigger than what it is. So I'm just going to use my square here and just trace about 1/2 inch outside of the arrow. Then I'm going to take my blade knife and I'm just going to score on the lines and tear. So basically it's scoring and tearing until you have the arrow. I do this all the time. I love using Dollar Tree signs for this because they're so customizable, and all you got to do is just be careful, of course, but if you score and carefully tear apart, it's so easy to do. Once I had the arrow all done, I'm just going to sand the edges to make sure they are smooth, and this worked really, really well. So when you're scoring and tearing, don't worry about being perfect because once you sand it, it does smooth out. Then I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the linen white. While the paint dries, I'm going to start to distress a little bit of the arrow. I'm just going to add some antiquing wax by Waverly and a chippy brush, and I'm just going to start making it look like it's a little rusted. So basically, I'm just going to dab the antiquing wax all around the edges, and then I'm going to use a old rag, which is basically an old sock, and I'm going to start dabbing any excess. That way I don't have like globs of antiquing wax. So you see there, just dabbing, and I'm going to do this until I like what I see. Then I'm going to attach the arrow, the galvanized arrow, hot gluing it to the white arrow. And I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to start antiquing and adding a little bit of that same technique onto the white arrow. Now I'm going to take some of that ribbon that Sarah sent me, and I'm going to start lining all around the arrow using hot glue. Now I'm not going to cut. I'm just going to fold and continue the kind of like tracing or bordering. I'm going to border the arrow, and I'm just going to do it without cutting. As I said, I'm just going to fold and continue to hot glue all around the trim of the arrow. I'm going to add some greenery grass here that I get on Amazon. It comes like in a little bush, like a pick, and I just cut 2 small picks from it. And I'm going to add some more of those yellow flowers that I used earlier from Walmart and just hot glue them kind of facing where the arrow is facing. So then I'm going to take some of this thicker jute twine, and I'm just going to make a multiple loop bow, secure it in the middle with some smaller jute cord, and then hot glue it underneath, so at the end of the little flower arrangement. And then I'm just going to use some of that same ribbon, make a loop in the back, and that's where we can hang it from. And that's it, guys. Look how stinking cute this looks. I love the rusticness of it, and I love that the arrow now looks larger. This is a lot larger arrow, and I love the way it turned out. Get started. For this DIY, I am going to start with one of those oversized, large painting stirring sticks, and I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I am then going to do the same thing to these 3 little like palette, wooden tiny palettes from Dollar Tree. They're so cute. But for the palettes, I'm going to give it a little bit more of a dry brush so they can have a little bit more of a contrast from the stick on the back.
I have seen that face more than a million times, like a million times. I have seen that, baby. I can treat you right and you can prove.
I am then going to take these letters. They're like felt letters and they have sticky on the back, and I'm just going to place the phrase "love grows here," and I am going to do it obviously on the bottom part of the little palette.
Turn around, be gone. Turn around now, baby. You think you're special like the others, something to discover. Think you're little fun, but I have seen their face more than a million times. Think I know by now that I can be the one. If that is what I want, your days are gone. You've had your
And then I am going to hot glue each little palette to the stick, starting at the bottom and then leaving maybe about 4 inches in between each. But I will leave about 2.5 inches on the top so that I can drill a hole, thread some jute twine, and be able to hang it.
I'll make your dreams come true. If that is what I want to do with you, I'm over here for a little fun. Here for my dreams are made of. I'm over here for a little fun. Oh.
I am now going to take some florals from the Dollar Tree. They're all going to be in the purple tone just to kind of keep it in that purple family, but they're all going to be different. And I'm going to start with the larger ones on the bottom, and then medium ones on the middle, and then smaller ones on the top. And then after that, we'll be done. This one was super easy, but what a cute little arrangement you can use either on a porch or in a home or even on a like a back deck or something. I just think it looks super cute. All right, for this next DIY, we are going to take this Dollar Tree mat. It's like a placemat. And I am going to take more of those larger paint stirring sticks. And I'm just going to start measuring the smaller size. Then I went on my miter saw and I cut them to size. Now that I have those, I'm going to take 2 more of those sticks. And I am going to measure where I need to cut the ones that are going horizontally. Then I am going to stain them using Rust-Oleum chalked glaze, and this is in the gray tone. Once I have them stained and dry, I am going to secure them using hot glue and staples. You can certainly use just hot glue, but I think adding the staples just add a lot more stability. And so I did that on the first one, and then after I had that one on the side, I added the 2 horizontal ones and then the other one on the other side. For more stability, I decided to add some staples on every seam. That just adds a little bit more of a rustic look, but also, again, stability, so it's not flimsy on me because the mat is not very sturdy, obviously. And then, of course, I added more staples all over the back of the frame. And then I am going to add some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, knot it and staple it to the top. And that's it for this one. Such an easy DIY. If you do not have a miter saw, you can certainly use your miter box. It works just as well cutting these sticks. And what a beautiful and what a great size sign for any decor in your home. For this next DIY, I am going to take more placemats and I am going to cut. It's probably about 2 inches to or maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inch strips. And I'm going to use this gray and white one as well as this blue one. They're both beautiful. And then I'm going to cut them for about 8 inches. Then I'm going to round up the bottom corners just so that they're not pointy. We're going to make some bookmarks here with these. Once I have them rounded up on the bottom, I am going to make these little tassels using yarn. This yarn is also from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take something, it doesn't matter what you take. This is a piece of scrap board or a piece of paper from something. And then I am going to, you know how to make tassels. I don't need to tell you. But for those who are not used to making them, basically you just then take some more of that yarn or whatever string you're using, tie it on the top, make a very, very strong tie or knot, and then you're going to take more string or more yarn and then just tie it around the top, just leaving about 1/2 inch on the top. And then you cut the excess of what you don't want. So you can make it as short or as long as you want. I did the same thing using this gray yarn again from the Dollar Tree. I am now going to take the crocodile and punch hole 2 holes or 1 hole in each bookmark, and then I can thread through the little tassels, tie them, and that's it, guys. Now tell me this is not like the easiest DIY ever. I really love the way this turned out, so easy, and what a cute little gift, you know, even if it's not these placemats, but even if it's anything else, you can make these tassels look so cute with them, and the bookmarks I think would make a really cute gift for anybody. For this next DIY, I am going to take more of that blue placemat and I am going to cut the sides of it. So I'm going to leave the little middle portion for another DIY in the future. Now I'm going to take them and I'm just going to roll them up and secure them with hot glue. I am then going to take some white yarn. This one is actually from Michael's, and I'm just going to tie it around, make a simple knot. These are just going to be like some little vases. Now I contemplated giving them a bottom, but it really wasn't needed, so I just decided just to keep it simple. But if you want to add a little, bottom, you can use foam board, you can use more of the placemat, but it was just not needed, so I did not add it. And then I'm just going to add some flowers from the Dollar Tree, and that's it. What a cute little way of adding color to any decor and just make these little tiny, well, one is not that small, but these little vases, I think they turn out super cute. For this next DIY, I am going to take this Dollar Tree welcome Easter sign. I'm going to remove the just the lining portion of it, the one that has the decor. And then we're going to make some coasters. I rarely make coasters, actually only ones that I remember, and I'm so excited. So then I took my ruler here, or my square, and I'm just going to mark 3.5 inches, and I am going to cut using my knife blade. Basically, you just want to kind of just score it, I guess, several times, and then it just snaps. And then once you do that, you can sand it down using a paper or sandpaper or a sanding block, and it'll smooth out the edges. That way they're as straight and smooth as possible. And then after that, I did measure 3.5 inches going the other way. That way I have a nice, as close as possible to a perfect square. Once I had 4 of them made, I am going to take some E6000 and some hot glue, and I am going to place them on that gray and white placemat we had left over from the bookmarks. Now you can make 6, you can make 8, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to make 4 because here at home we have 4 of us, but you can certainly make as many as you want. Once I had them glued to the placemat, I'm just going to use my rotary cutter here and cut them as close as possible to the edge so that I don't have to, so that they're nicely clean and, you know, straight, I guess. And then I'm going to take the sanding block once again, and then I am going to sand down the edges and the little corners. That way it's nicely smooth and not pointy. To finish it off, I'm going to take some of these felt little pads. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut them in half. I'm going to take the smaller ones and cut them in half. Then I'm going to place them on the bottom, making sure that they're all facing kind of like the same way so it looks finished and professional. And that's it. That way it's not going to scratch. I don't think it would have scratched because it's kind of like a really hard cardboard, but it wasn't going to scratch the surface, but just to make them look a little bit more professional and finished. And I think they look so adorable. You can make these with anything, but with placemats, they already are a material that water can be on them, and I think they turn out so cute. All right, this Dollar Tree heart is beautiful as is, but it's not the style that I'm looking for. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually turn any decor from the Dollar Tree into beautiful decor that matches your style. So I'm going to start by removing the galvanized love. I'm doing it very carefully because this is very thin metal and it will bend. So if you've worked with this, you know what I'm talking about. So I removed it. I was very successful, surprisingly. Now I'm just going to remove all these leftover little pieces of paper and just remove any sheen from the heart. I like using my palm sander. It just makes things so easy, so quick, but you can certainly do this with a hand sander, like a sanding paper. I'm going to dust it really well, make sure it has no remaining dust. And now I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. But this part that I'm painting here is going to be my back part. I'm just not going to use it, but I do want it to have it look clean and pretty. This is going to be my front side. So this side is going to have the 2 coats, and I'm going to do coats in different directions so that I get a nice texture to it. I'm going to let it fully dry, and then I'm going to sand down the edges just to give it a little bit more of a distressed look. It already had a little bit of a distressed look, but I just wanted to give it a little bit smoother look. I'm going to take my square here and I'm going to start making some lines. We're going to plank this heart using a permanent marker, and I'm going to tilt it just at an angle like you see there. And I'm going to use the width of the ruler to actually be the size of my planks. This is so easy. You can make plans in any direction, sideways, vertical, and an angle, whatever you want. And I love the look. So now we're going to take that love. I did spray it with some black matte spray paint. Now I'm going to spray it with this top coat to ensure that it's not going to scratch off. Before I apply the love, I'm going to use one of these ribbons. I get these little bundles at Hobby Lobby. You can get them at different places actually. And I'm going to take this one that's kind of wavy and thread it through the hole and then make a knot in the back. All right, now we are going to start adding some hot glue to the galvanized love, and we're just going to apply it in the center. I'm going to give it just a little bit of a tilt. I think that's going to look super cute, and that's it. So easy. But we are going to apply some florals here. This is a peony that I already had on hand from maybe a year ago, a couple years ago. I use them all the time, and I love their look. So I'm just going to hot glue the leaves first to kind of like make sure they're not covering my love there. And then we're going to hot glue the peony there right on top. That's it. So simple, so easy, but look how beautiful this looks. You can use any florals you have at home, and for just $1 or $1.25 depending which Dollar Tree you're going to, I think it's a great deal. All right, you want to talk about easy? This is so easy. Now, I know you have seen many lanterns being made before. I have too, but I'm going to bring you just one more inspiration. This one requires absolutely no painting. I am going to remove the back, but I am going to keep the glass. I am also going to remove all the little hooks that you can kind of bend over because you don't want to see them through the glass. So I'm going to remove them very easily using my pliers. And this is not real wood. You know that the Dollar Tree, most of Dollar Tree's frames are kind of like a very hard foam material, so, or plastic. These is actually a foam, but it came out really easy. I'm going to add some glue, some hot glue, very, very small amount on all the edges, and I'm going to place the glass, and it worked like magic. It was beautiful. I'm going to do the same thing to all 4 of the frames. Now it's time to start applying them together. So yeah, we're just going to make a box. That's it. We're not going to even give it a bottom to the box. This is just going to be a box. It's going to be like a lantern, also a display box. It could be used for whatever you want. But because it already has this beautiful white color, I normally would have painted it white. It is just perfect to be able to just have on my decor. So I'm just hot gluing the 3rd piece here, and then the 4th one, so easy, just hot glue it to the top. And then once it's done, I'm going to show you how I'm going to style it really quick. We're just going to add some boxwood faux greenery that I get on Amazon. I have a lot of my favorite greeneries from Amazon on my Amazon store. If you've never checked that out, make sure you check that out down below in the description box. Here we go. Adding some boxwood right there to the corner. Some of these faux battery operated candles I also have on my Amazon store. They're beautiful. They're battery operated, and they have a little remote control. It's really easy to control. I thought I would add 4 of them. I did end up removing 1, but I'm going to show you how beautiful and how easy this was to look at that. Oh my gosh. You don't even need a bottom. It's so cool. You can always just remove it just straight up. Things will be there for you to move and add any decor. You can always add florals for every season. I love it. For this next farmhouse style DIY, I am going to take this Dollar Tree kissing booth sign. It's so cute. I think it's really cute. It's one of my favorites. But again, it's not the style that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to remove the string from it. And I'm also going to sand down all the glitter. It's so much easier to do that with my electric sander. But once again, you can use a sandpaper if you need to. I'm going to now give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Same thing for this one. We're just going to give it 1 coat on the back, 1 coat in the front. There you go. 2 in the back, which will then be my front. I am going to remove the sticker, don't you worry, but I want to fill in the little holes with some wood filler first, let that dry, and then we're going to sand everything down so that it is smooth, including the little sticky part from the sticker. All right, I want this sign to have a stitched look. I think the kind of like the border that it already has with that cute design calls for this kind of stitched look. So I'm just going to use a permanent marker once again in my square to make sure that I stay on a straight line. And I'm just going to start adding little dotted lines to create that stitched look. Doesn't it look pretty? I love that technique. You can use that in pretty much any decorations. And you can make these lines as long as you want and it will look cute. This Let Go and Let God was part of a decal from Dollar Tree. I already had used some of it, but this was leftover. I thought it was perfect size for this little corner here on the right bottom side. I think it's perfect. I'm going to use some of this eucalyptus greenery from Walmart, cut a few little branches, but first we're going to tape some of this leftover buffalo check. You can tell it's leftover, it's all wrinkled. Leftover buffalo check ribbon that I had stashed in my ribbon drawer, and we're just going to tape it. That should be sufficient. Now I'll flip it over. Here we go. We're going to hot glue some of these little branches, and some of them are going to go towards the bottom, and some of them are going to go towards the top facing to the right side. And then we are going to add a little peony, little bud that I had left over. Same color as the first DIY, but I just thought this was so cute. We're going to add the leaves first and then the bud, and look how stinking cute it is. I love it. That's it. Isn't this easy? Very inexpensive. Things from Dollar Tree, some things from Walmart, and then a flower that I already had on hand. So beautiful. For this next DIY, I'm going to take this Dollar Tree. It's like a little planked triple sign going vertically, and I love it. I'm going to remove the ribbon from it. It's so easy to remove. It's just some staples, and then I'm going to remove the staples that are left over. I am then going to once again sand everything down to make sure it is smooth. No glitter is on them. I made sure they were nicely dusted, and now I'm just going to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. For this one, I'm actually going to use the front of it. So I'm making sure that I have very good coverage over all these colors, but the chalk paint is really good, so 2 coats was actually sufficient. I'm going to end up planking this one as well, and I'm going to use my square here once again, and we're just going to use the size of the ruler again. That way it's just nice and easy and no-brainer. And I'm going to continue each plank as if they belong to each other. So you see how I just continued it with the next one, and I'll do the other one as well the same way. So easy. These lines I'm actually now making horizontal, and you can do whatever you want, but because it had that design on the sides, I thought it was perfect. Now I'm going to sand down the edges once again just to give it a little bit more of a farmhouse look. I'm going to use another one of those Dollar Tree decals, so easy to use. This one says faith, hope, and love. I'm going to place one on each plank, and if there's any excess to the sides, I'm just going to cut it using my scissors. Now I'm going to take another one of those ribbons from that same little bundle that I got, and I'm just going to use that to attach them. I'm going to use some tape. I'm not going to use any staples because the staples that I have are too long and it would just go right through the MDF board. So we're just going to use some tape. By the way, if you are at Dollar Tree and you see this tape, this is the one that it's like a packaging tape and it has the little lines running through it. Wow, is it good? It is durable. It is sticky. I loved it. So I'm going to make sure I grab a few. All right, so that one is already attached. Now we're just going to hot glue some of those eucalyptus picks from earlier, and I'm going to just add a couple, one facing to one side and the other. Then I'm going to make a very simple bow, tie it in the center with some white ribbon, and just hot glue it in the center to hide that joint there in between both picks, and that's it. Another beautiful one, very easy DIY. It goes great with the style that I'm going for today, but remember, you can modify these to whatever colors you want to match your style. For this next DIY, I am going to start with one of these larger canvases from the Dollar Tree. They come 2 in a pack and they're just really easy to work with. They're large. I love the look of them, but I just wanted to give it a little brightness to it. So I'm just going to add one pretty quick light coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white and then let that dry. Now I'm going to take this wooden planked heart from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to remove the jute string from it, and then I'm going to remove each plank. So I want all of these to have a separate just to be separated. So I'm just going to carefully do this. Again, this is not real thick wood, so you want to do this very carefully. If it comes off some of the paint chips in the back, that's okay. It's no big deal. As long as the front looks fine, you are fine. I'm going to take some of this Waverly ink paint. It is beautiful, so pigmented. Only one coat was needed. I'm going to paint the heart, all the heart in the same color. Now I'm going to take some of this burlap ribbon and I'm just going to, again, tape it to the back of it. I'm going to tape it 2 ends, actually, 1 on each bottom, and then I'm going to do it again on the top so that it is not kind of tilting on me. So then I'm going to take one more of those Dollar Tree decals. This one I had used the bottom portion of it, but I still had the Be Grateful portion of it, and I thought it would be perfect to add vertically on the right side of the sign. All right, now it's time to attach the hearts. This was actually really fun. It was like putting a puzzle together. I'm just going to hot glue it in place, but I'm going to dry fit it first and then add quite a bit of glue to the back of it just to make sure it attaches nicely. I'm also making sure that the space between each plank is equal so that way it looks professional and beautiful. I'm going to add some of these greeneries right to the top, one little branch facing each side, and just a little bit hot glue went a long way. And I'm going to take some more of that ribbon, and I'm going to make a very simple bow, tie it in the center with some jute string, and then hot glue it right to the center, and then we're done. Such an easy, simple one. I love, love, love the way this one turned out. I think it's one of my favorites from today. I just love the planked look, and it's just so large. It's larger than the rest, and I just think it looks really professional, very beautiful. For the next DIY, I'm going to take this Dollar Tree envelope. It's so cute just as is, but again, it just does not match the style that I'm going for. And I want all of these DIYs to look the same. You can certainly keep it looking this way. You don't even have to do anything. I am going to remove the top from it. And then I'm going to start taking some of these foam core from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to cut about 1-inch strips. Then I'm going to just kind of line the inside of the envelope. But not too much, right? It's just about 1 inch to the inside. I'm going to double it up. So I'm going to cut 2 for each side, 2 for the bottom, and we're going to hot glue them together. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. A thumbs up really helps this video reach more people, and it helps my channel grow as well. I also have the ability now on my channel that you can give me a heart thanks. It is a special thanks that you can give me. It helps support my channel. You can find it underneath this video on directly to the right side of the thumbs up. All right, so now I'm just giving the inside of the envelope 1 coat of the Waverly ink paint, and then the outside envelope, or the outside of the envelope, 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the linen white. Now we are going to hot glue the top to the bottom, and what we created is a little larger pocket. I did angle the cuts, if you're going to show you here in just a quick minute. I did angle the cuts on the top of the envelope because, right there, you can see it because it has that angled cut. So I just make sure it matched the cut. I'm going to take some more of that ribbon from that little bundle. This one's very thin, and I thought I would line the envelope on the front. I thought that would be really cute. So I'm going to line the white portion of it as well as crisscrossing it so it does has that envelope look. Also, don't forget to visit the description box because there's a lot of information there, like my Amazon store, my Etsy shop, as well as the link to my, oh my gosh, my Instagram page, which I post every day, things that I don't normally post here on my channel. So make sure you check that out. All right, so now it's time to add some greenery. These are all leftover greeneries from larger picks. They all are different, but I thought the green tones will look really cute. So I'm just going to start pushing them right in the envelope. Look how cute this is looking. Now, you can definitely add a decal to the white portion of the envelope. You can also add the greenery to the front bottom of the envelope and hot glue it and leave this as a true little mailbox that you can put in any doorway or anything for little love notes. I think that'd be super cute. But in this case, I'm going to use it as a little faux planter, and I think it turned out so beautiful. It took a complete different look than what it had, and I think it looks stunning. For this next DIY, I'm going to take another one of those floating shelves. This is the larger one, and it comes with 1 in it. Same thing, except we're going to paint the shelf black using the Waverly ink paint, and I'm just going to give it 1 coat on top, on the bottom, and all the edges because this is a shelf, so you will be able to see underneath it. I am going to distress the edges again just a little bit, just for a little bit of dimension and character, but you don't have to do this. You can certainly leave it as is. And now it's time to start placing the string. Now, it's pretty long. I'm going to cut it into 2, and because they fray pretty easily, I am going to add some painter's tape to each end just so that I have a stronger end so I can thread it through the little holes. And this was actually a little harder than what I realized, but it didn't take long anyways. I'm going to thread them and then knot them on the bottom. And the key to this shelf is you want to make sure that both strings are the same length. So if one is longer than the other, the shelf is going to be tilted. So make sure they're the same length. And all you have to do is just untie the knot and tie it again as needed. So now that we have all the knots in place, it's time to place the rings. Now the rings I should have placed before I knot them. Yeah. Good thing is that the rings are actually like open. You just have to like open them up a little bit. See, like separate them. So that worked. But if these were rings that were like soldered together, I would have had to remove some of the knots and thread them again. But no big deal. Look how beautiful this shelf is. I can't tell you enough. This is actually a pretty good size. Having a couple or maybe even 3 of these in a wall will look stunning. I love it. For the next DIY, I'm going to use another one of these hearts. This is a little bit different one, but it's also from the Dollar Tree. So cute. It is so cute as is, but again, we want to give it a different look. I'm going to remove the red ribbon as well as sand down all the glitter from the top, wipe it down very well, and give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. I am now going to take this wooden love word from Dollar Tree as well. I was excited when I saw this one. So beautiful. Now I'm going to take some napkins and I'm going to separate it into 1 ply. I was hoping the napkins were the same, like black and white design all around, but it turned out they were just in one little side, one little square, and that's okay. I'm just going to cut off the little square and I'm going to then do this about 3 times, enough to cover the entire love. I'm going to use some Mod Podge and brush it on and apply the 1 ply napkin. I saw this technique being done recently on Instagram by several people and I thought it was so brilliant. I'd never tried this technique and let me tell you, it worked like magic and I'm going to show you. Once the napkin was applied, you're going to take a lighter and light it up. Like the song. I should start singing it, but I'm not because I'm not licensed to use that song. So, okay, here we go. So look at how easy this is. It just keeps going and then it stops right where it needs to stop at the edge of the word. If you need to light it up more, you just do so. It is literally like magic and so satisfying. It did leave a burning smell, but no big deal. And also, if you're going to do this, make sure that it is in a safe place and that you have water or something anywhere where you can like use if you need it. So for the inside of the words or the letters, you just kind of poke it with your scissors and then light it up again. And yeah, look how cool that is. Oh, and I don't remember who I saw it from, and I'm so sorry, but if it was you and you're watching this video and you posted it recently on Instagram, put a comment below. I'll make sure to pin it so everyone knows it was you. Okay, now the heart is dry. We are going to plank it once again. This time I'm going to use my yardstick, and they're going to be wider planks. So easy. We're going to do them kind of like at an angle, but vertically. And then we're going to hot glue the love right on top. Look how beautiful this combination looks. This does not look like it came from the Dollar Tree. My friend, look how stunning. I'm going to use another one of those ribbon. This one is just a simple white one. Thread it through. I'm going to knot it. And that's it. Here we go, moving along. This next DIY, I'm going to use this picture frame that for some reason I thought it was chalkboard. It's not. It's just a black poster board. So I removed everything from the frame, including the back portion of it. But we're going to leave the little hooks on this one. We are going to take some foam core and we're going to use the back of the frame that came with it as a guide, trace it, and then cut it using my X-Acto knife. And then we are going to paint the frame in the Waverly ink color. All right, so now that I have the foam core cut, I am going to place it right inside, snug it in, and then move the clips inwards so that it looks finished. Do you remember the first or the, oh my gosh, the glass box we made? We removed some of the pictures that I had on the frame. So this is one of them. I thought it was really cute. It matched my style for today. So I'm going to cut it in a wavily kind of like trim and then hot glue it to the center, and then this will be perfect for a kitchen. It's actually a pretty good size frame, and I think it looks beautiful. I love it. It can go in any corner in a little countertop, and look. So this wreath form I got there, it was $3 and it's wooden and it has that beautiful planked look. I did move the claw hook to the other side as you saw because I wanted the planks to be sideways instead of up and down. So now I'm going to take this Dollar General ornament. It's a snowflake wooden ornament and it's beautiful, but I'm going to remove the piece and all the decor from it. I'm going to sand it down smooth as well because I want to give it 2 coats, or not, I just give it 1 coat. 1 coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint and the linen white. And that's because I'm going to place it right in the center of that wreath form. I just thought it would be so beautiful for winter. You know, keep that in mind when you have decor, when you're pulling them down. Keep in mind what can you keep that can go right into winter by adding maybe a couple things here and there. So once again, I'm just going to give it 1 coat and let it fully dry. Now I'm going to place the ornament, like I said, right in the center of that wreath form. I'm going to use the little jute twine that came with it, and I'm going to attach it on the back of it. That way it's hanging, and I'm just going to staple it in place. I'm going to add some lamb's ear to the top. I'm just going to create a little swag for the top of the wreath form. I love lamb's ear, especially for winter, because it just has that natural frosted look. And I do love the greenery, so I'm just going to add a couple here. I got these at Walmart. And I'm just going to, I stapled the first one, but the second one wasn't stapling, so I'm just going to hot glue them in place. And then I'm going to add a couple things, a pine cone, a little cotton stem, and just some stick, what are they called? Oh, I think they're called kitten tails or cat tails that came on the same pick as the cotton stem. And I'm just going to hot glue them in place. That way it just adds a little bit more fullness and just some different tones and textures. And then to finalize things, I did take some burlap ribbon from burlapfabric.com. I'm going to have their link down in the description box. They have beautiful, beautiful burlap ribbons and burlap everything. I'm going to make a very simple bow, and I'm just going to hot glue it right above the little swag there. And that's it, guys. This was such an easy one. And again, such a beautiful little wreath to put over your fireplace, over anywhere, really. It just turned out so, so cute. All right, so for this next DIY, I'm going to take this Target dollar spot tree. Isn't it beautiful just the way it is? But it was just missing a little something, so I'm not going to do much to it. I will take some of that same chalk paint from Rust-Oleum and the linen white, and I'm going to trim or just kind of add a little bit of what it would look like snow or frost that it's been falling on this tree, just to kind of give it more of a wintry look. I'm going to focus on the edges. At first, I was just going to do very little, and then you're going to see that I start adding a little bit more. Sometimes I add little and then add as I go. That way I know for sure is what I want to see on the items. But and that's just what I'm going to do to the actual tree portion of it.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way, don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand, look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be.
So I just got that heat gun, guys, and I love it. I saw Heidi Sambo use one, and I was like, that is so smart because, you know, sometimes it just takes forever for something to dry. So I do have it in my Amazon store. I have all my tools, my scissors, everything that I use, or most things that I use on my Amazon store, and it is linked down in the description box. All right, so this is a Dollar Tree dusting mop, and I'm just going to place it. I'm going to cut a piece to fit the front and the back of the tree. I just want it to look like it's sitting in a bed of snow, and I do want it to overlap over the edges. So I made sure that it has about an inch, just overflowing kind of thing. And I'm going to add hot glue and attach it that way. Again, one to the front and one to the back.
I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with.
And I did trim the back one just a little bit so that it matches the form of the front one. It has that natural like circle look, and I really like that, so I just wanted to keep the same form. All right, so moving along, I'm just going to add a couple of picks here. This large pick, it's a frosted berry pick I got during when I was purchasing everything for Christmas for decor and DIYs at the Dollar General, and I just thought these would be perfect for winter, so I grabbed a couple of them, and I'm just going to add a couple small ones to the front of the tree. I just thought it needed a little something to it, so I'm just going to hot glue a couple on each, kind of like on each side on the front, and that's it for this one. Another beautiful, and how easy was this? Seriously. I mean, the tree was beautiful as is, but I think adding just a little bit more to it just took it to the next level. And it's so easy for just $3 and some change with the extra little things we added. It's just adds so much character, and I think it would be perfect for any winter decor.
All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love. All that we have is each other now. Promise you won't leave my side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm
All right, guys, so for this next DIY, I am going to take this piece of leftover paneling. I cut it to about 23.5 inches. That's because I was eyeing it out, but it could have been 24 inches. I don't know why it was 23.5, but I measured it, ended up being 23.5. And I'm just going to give it one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. And then, of course, use my heat gun to dry it.
I've been lying here for too long. I don't know what else to do. I wanna get away from every little thing just to try to make it through.
All right, so now these letters I got at the Target dollar spot. They're $1 each, and aren't they beautiful? They're just beautiful S's, but of course, they can be painted, they can be distressed, whatever you want. They're wooden, they're beautiful. So I'm going to spell the word home. Obviously I am missing the O, but that's coming. I'm going to do the same technique to these letters that I did with the little tree earlier. I'm just going to add some snow-like with effect, I guess, with paint. This one I'm going to add a little bit heavier, so almost like it's just coming down a little heavier in the snow. And then I was going to do it just on the top, and then I decided to do it anywhere where snow would accumulate. So anywhere where there's a flat horizontal surface, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I've been thinking about my options, every detail in my head, but it doesn't really matter, nothing matters, so I cry instead. I've been running circles, trying to catch my breath. I've been trying everything I can, but I ain't got nothing left.
All right, so now I'm going to take this Dollar Tree ornament. It's a snowflake one. I'm going to remove part of the snowflake on the back. That's because I want this to lay flat on the board. So I'm just going to keep the front one just like this. So I'm going to hot glue it all together in a minute, but I'm going to remove the little, like the little pick that was there holding everything together. And I'm just going to start hot gluing them in layers. I did remove the little rhinestone because I just didn't, it had a little bit of a glam look, and that's not the look that I was looking for. So I just removed it, and we will add a couple little pine cones and a little tiny evergreen pick just to add a little color and texture. But that's it for the snowflake on this one.
I've been staring at the ceiling, I've been staying up all night. Everything I ever worked for vanished in the blink of an eye.
So now it's time to put everything together on the board. So simple, of course. You just kind of, if you want to measure, you can. I like to eye things out. I get in trouble sometimes and I mess things up, but most often they turn out okay. I'm just gonna hot glue them. They're not heavy, so hot glue should be fine. So I'm just gonna again eye them out and hot glue them together, and that's it. I mean, I thought about adding maybe a jute rope or jute twine to the top so that it can be hung, but I'm not sure where I'm placing it. So before I drill any holes, I wanted to wait. But that is definitely an option if you want to recreate that. And if you don't have a board like this one, you can certainly use foam board. I think that would be beautiful, and you wouldn't even tell that it's foam board.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance? Oh, I wish it was me every night. When I close my eyes, I see beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty lives in me too.
So I'm going to start with these scones that I'm going to make for the wall. These are just a 2x4 that I had in my garage. The two larger ones were already that size, so they must have come from something that I did, that they both ended up being the same size, but I didn't even have to cut them. And then the other two, I cut them to measure the same width of the 2x4, which is actually like a 3.5. So those are 3.5 by 3.5. I'm just sanding them down very lightly using my sander. That way they're just smooth and no splinters anywhere. I dusted them, and now I'm going to give them just one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
The snow in this winterland used to look so pretty, now making me moody. In the deep woods, alone with my fields, spend too much time thinking. In the end, you'll be with me. Maybe I'm just getting it now.
The reason why I only gave them one coat is because I will be distressing them pretty heavily. So I am using a 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to go over all the sides that I painted. That way they just have a nice distressed farmhouse style to them.
Damn, that took a little time.
I I am going to use my Craig jig here. This is just a tool that my husband actually got, and I've been using it more than him. I'm just going to make 2 pocket holes on each of the smaller ones. Now on this one that I'm doing here, I messed up and I drilled the holes just the wrong way, but it was no big deal. I just had to flip it and drill a couple other ones. It was no big deal, but I wanted the rounder, smoother edge to face the front, so that's why I had to redo him. So once I had it done, so you can see there that I had to redo him, I'm just going to place him. I'm measuring, I believe it's 2.5 inches from the bottom, and that way I can mark and both of them will be evenly measured. And I'm just going to screw them in with using pocket hole screws. These are 2.5 inches long, which is the appropriate size for this 2x4 size piece of wood. And yes, that is my head. I had to put a lot of oomph on there to get these screws to go in, and because my workbench is a little high, I had to like really get on there, so I apologize for my big old head there on the screen.
Catching up, finding what if there's no meaning. Oh, my heart is slowly bleeding. You said we still got today. Trust me that right now is all that matters. No, nothing lasts forever.
All right, so I'm just going to add a couple, well, one on each claw hook to the back. That way I can hang them on the wall nicely and secure. And that's it, guys. So what I did was I grabbed 2 Dollar Tree little, like little mason jar kind of mugs. They're just tiny and cute. And I added some boxwood greenery that I got on Amazon right on there. You can put candles too, but I didn't have a candle that would fit it appropriately. So I think the greenery looked perfect. Just perfect for really any season because you can just change the greenery. And I think for winter is perfect as well. Right, so for my next DIY, I'm going to use this Dollar General tag. I got these a couple of years back. It was at the end of the fall season, and I got them for like 75 cents. It was the craziest thing. I still have so many of them. They all had different letters on the pumpkin. This one has the H, so I'm just going to remove that using my heat gun just to kind of make sure that any glue would kind of loosen up, but it wasn't working, guys. So I ended up just having to really just use muscle, and then I used my sander too to just get it nice and smooth.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again.
All right, so then now that the back side is nice and smooth, I am going to flip it over because I will be using the inside of the tag. It's almost like a little box there, and I'm going to use these tongue suppressants that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and I am going to put them inside the box because I want to make sure that as I glue them so that they can fit inside the box. And I'm going to create a snowflake out of these.
Driving is like a spiritual cleanse where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. The neon lights in the fast lane life, riding high, reaching for the sky. I had it all but lost and fell back down again. Spent my time playing the game where every single day was a losing battle and every drink was a dead end.
Once I had everything glued, now I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
Eyes on the goal, don't lose control. I'm living fast, I've lost my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day.
And then after everything was dry, I am now going to hot glue it right inside the box. Now, the key here is that I'm just going to put glue on the one that actually touches the box. Not all of them do, but it's so light that it doesn't matter. It's not going anywhere. Now, I just recently did another DIY that I used one of those ornaments that was like from the Dollar Tree. It's like a little snowflake. I removed the back side, and this is what I had left over. And I'm going to use some because I just think it is perfect for the snowflake. Just the perfect addition to add a little bit of like a 3D effect. So I'm just going to hot glue each part right on top. I decided that I needed a little bit more of just a detail, so I'm going to add these frosted evergreen picks that I got maybe a couple years ago. I still have some left over, and I'm just going to take 2 of the leaves and just hot glue them to the top, and then hot glue a pine cone right in the center, and that'll finish it off. And this one turned out super cute, and what a great way to use just something that you got, like from fall a couple of years back, and now you can use on any part of your decor for winter.
Eyes on the goal, don't lose control. I'm living fast, I lost my soul. I'm driving to get away. Running through emotions, high and low. Holding on to let it go.
To take this Dollar Tree Christmas sign, and I am going to cut each plank and separate them from each other. I am using my X-Acto knife and my yardstick. That way I can just cut right through it. And this material that Dollar Tree uses for their signs, it's just one where you can just score kind of, and then you just kind of keep, you'll see what I'm doing here, but it'll basically, you just kind of score it and you keep kind of bending it until you get a nice smooth edge.
Going back to my old hometown, picking up the years I leave behind. Getting in my car, I drive as memories fly by. Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could see. Oh, sweet memories of the town I loved, but oh, changed when you left.
All right, so now that I have all 3 pieces separated, I am going to fill in the holes with some wood filler, let it dry, and then I'm going to make some angled cuts on one end of each plank. That way I'll have arrows. I am going to measure or kind of mark where the center is, and then 2.5 inches on each side, and then that way I'll know what angle to kind of cut, and then also all of them will have the same angled cuts.
Keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Moved a few times but ended up in Nashville. Tried to settle my restless soul. Got a job that felt like forever when I met you. You made me happy, we danced through the night. Life was music and I was your wife. Time flies and the years went by, still I tried. Oh, sweet memories of the town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were lake where we used to swim. Jump the fence before the summer begins, and getting cool in the summer heat with you, my sweet. Sitting in the back of your car, wishing for this road to take us far.
I am now going to take one of those larger paint stirring sticks that you can get at the hardware store. They're only 98 cents and you can get like a pack of 3, but I do get mine on Amazon because I can get just a whole bunch all at once. So, and I do have them in my Amazon store if you're interested in purchasing them. I tell you what, to me, having that many with me at all times is just a time saver, and I don't have to keep running to the hardware store. But I'm just going to grab one of them here, and I'm going to stain them using the Rust-Oleum chalked glaze in the brown tone.
Now I've been way too long, I'm going home. Oh, sweet memories of a town I love, but
While that is drying, I am now going to give each arrow 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Sweet memories of the town I love, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one? Were you the one? Always on my mind. Were you the one? Always there.
Using my Cricut, I cut 3 words. One says bonfire, the other one says hot cocoa bar, and the other one says ski lodge. And I'm just going to place them, making sure that I am placing them where 2 arrows are facing one way and 1 arrow is facing the opposite way.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way, don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand, look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be alright.
I am now going to start placing them in an angled kind of position, and I'm just going to hot glue them. They are very light, so I do not need to do anything else but hot glue them, and that was perfectly fine.
Right here, I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer, I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other.
I should have distressed them before I glued them, but I completely forgot, so now I'm just going to distress them lightly on the edges. I just wanted to look a little bit more farmhouse rustic style, like they've been outdoors for a little bit.
I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love.
So we're just about done with this one, and I gotta say, I think this is my favorite from today. I just love the way it turned out. It's so sturdy and it's just so beautiful. I love, love, love the way this one turned out.
Miss each other now. Promise you won't leave my side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm giving you my love, giving you my love, love. Tell me what you wanna do, I'll do it.
Okay, so for this next DIY, I am going to take 2 of the Dollar Tree white little Christmas trees, and I am going to just flatten them out and separate the bristles, just kind of going sideways right now. I'm sure you've seen this done a million times before during the Christmas season, but basically I am going to do something for winter now. So I'm going to put both of them together right on top of each other and secure them with some floral wire.
someone to save me.
I am now going to take some Dollar Tree nautical rope and I am going to wrap the base of them together and secure it with hot glue.
Don't come running to blame me. From miles away, I can tell that something's off. The way you look and how you pause when you talk. I think you said enough. You said your love for me something brand new.
And now I am going to fluff all the bristles of both trees, and I'm not even going to think about which bristle is from which tree. I am going to treat it as one tree now, so I'm just going to start fluffing it away.
You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in your car. Let me see who you are.
I am now going to take this vase. I did thrift this vase. It's like a milk jug vase. I thrifted it at Habitat for Humanity, and I'm just going to press it right in there, and it was a perfect fit. I did not even have to hot glue it or anything. Once it was in there, now I'm going to start kind of pushing down, pulling down the branches so that instead of looking like a fluffy Christmas tree, it's looking more as a evergreen in winter with snow on it, where all the branches are kind of heavy going down. I then decided to start adding some of these frosted white berries pick. It was a large pick that I got at the Dollar General, and I'm just going to cut little branches off of it, and I'm going to just hot glue it everywhere that I see it needs a little something.
Who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry. 'Cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle. No, I just gotta know if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Let's be honest for a second.
The two top long portions, I thought I would leave them up, but then I decided to just go ahead and pull them down like you just saw me doing. That way it just looks like it's part of the other branches. I decided that it needed a little bit more of a darker tone contrast, so I got these branch picks. They're just regular branches, the real branches. I thrifted a whole bunch of them a couple years back, and I still have many of them. I'm just going to grab a few pieces of them, and I'm just going to start hot gluing them in the same manner that I hot glued the frosted white berries. I'm just going to start placing them where I see where it would look natural.
All of the snow in this winterland used to look so pretty, now making me moody. In the deep woods, alone with my fields, spend too much time thinking. In the end, you'll be with me. Maybe I'm just getting it now. Damn, I took a little time out. Demons really catching up. I mean, what if there's no meaning? Oh, my heart is slowly bleeding. You said we still got today. Trust me, that right now is all that matters.
You know you can get foam board at the Dollar Tree, and I've been loving working with foam board. It's just so much fun, and you can just create so many things. So what I'm doing here is something extremely simple anybody can do, and it's just some triangle trees. I've created several throughout the Christmas season, and these I decided to make more with a wintry farmhouse look. So I'm just going to cut this piece of leftover foam board to fit the larger triangle of the two. I'm going to make two of them, a larger and a smaller one. And as you can see, I'm just cutting, I think it was like 6 inches or 5 inches. I can't remember. But nonetheless, whatever size you want to create. And I'm just using my X-Acto knife from Artisa, and I'm just going to cut.
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave. I would wait a lifetime if you
Once I had both triangles cut to the size that I wanted, I'm going to use this Dollar Tree dusting mop, and I am going to just hot glue the piece of foam board right onto it. Basically, I just want to cover the front of the trees with this fuzzy white fabric that it has, and it just gives it a little bit of more of a wintry snow-like effect. And so it is kind of messy working with it, but in the end it gives you a great, beautiful look. So what I'm doing here is I'm just removing any excess, and then anywhere where a lot of the fuzzies came off and it was just a little too bare, no big deal. I'm just hot gluing some of the little fuzzies that fell, and then I'm just going to trim it, making sure it looks nice and groomed. And I'm going to do the same thing with the larger one.
I just wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal.
Once I had the trees all trimmed and ready, I am now going to hot glue them to a couple of these Dollar Tree stems, and that's it. I mean, can you talk about easy? Anybody can make these. I mean, all the supplies were from the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love the way these turned out. So easy, so cool. And tell me what you think about these little trees. I wanted to place them first because I think it's like the easiest DIY out of all these 7. And I just wanted to start with something very simple that anybody can do with very minimal supplies.
I just wanna love you right. Love you till the end of time. I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better. 'Cause a love like
Alright, so for this next DIY, I am going to take one of these jars from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the lid. I am now going to take this leftover knob from an old dresser that I work on, and I am going to hot glue it as well as E6000 it onto the center on the top. Once that is fairly dry, I am going to then start painting it using this Dixie Belle beautiful green tone in the Kutsu green. I'll have their link down in the description box. It is beautiful. Dixie Belle sent me this paint, and I used it to redo what did I do? Oh, a little table, and then a couple other things here and there, but I just love the tone, and the coverage is phenomenal. So I'm just going to give it one coat. Actually, I think it was about 1.5. I just went back after the first coat was dry and just filled in a few little spots, but it didn't need much.
All of the snow in this winterland used to look so pretty, now making me moody. In the deep woods, alone with my feels, spend too much time thinking. In the end, you'll be with me. Maybe I'm just getting it now. Time not to go little.
Alright, so while the lid is dry, I am going to take this little chalkboard. It used to have like a little like steak pick, like I just removed that. It's from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue it right to the front of the jar. And now I'm going to take some Dollar Tree jute twine, and I'm going to wrap it around the top of the jar, and making sure that it's not going to overlap where the lid is going to screw on. And that's it. I'm just going to make a very simple knot. I contemplated doing a little bow, but I think it just looks simpler and just nicer with a simple knot. Cut the excess. I'm going to add some of these beads just because I just love the tone of them, and I just have plenty of them. Now I'm going to place the lid, and look how beautiful this jar looks. I mean, it could be used in the bathroom with cotton swabs or just whatever you want, and it's just beautiful. I love that green. You're going to see that green here a couple of more times, but I really love the way this turned out.
Demons really catching up. I mean, what if there's no meaning? Oh, my heart is slowly bleeding.
Alright guys, so for this next DIY, I'm going to take this red truck Christmas sign from the Dollar Tree. I didn't use it in my Christmas DIYs, but I thought I'd use it to create more of a farmhouse truck. I removed the little string of berries that was strung around the tree, and I also sanded down the Merry Christmas words that were very glittery. And now I'm going to give it 3 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again. Driving is like a spiritual cleanse where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end.
I decided to add a little bit of like snow-like, frost-like to the tires. No specific reason why, I just thought it would look cute. And then after that was done, I just wanted to use that same green just so that every one of my decors kind of tie in together. I will be adding the snow again with paint, but I just wanted it to lighten up that green. And then once everything was dry, it was time to add a little bit of dimension to the truck. So I thought about using some antiquing wax from our Waverly. And I'm just going to focus on the edges and create some dimension and details on the truck.
Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. Neon lights in the fast lane light, riding high, reaching for the sky. I had it all but lost and fell back down again. Spent my time playing the
And as I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to add the snow that was on the tree right back on it. You can still see where it was because it was a little bit glittery, and I painted right over it. So I knew exactly where it would go. And I'm just using the Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. And then we'd be done with this one, guys. What a perfect way to reuse this red truck that I just didn't use in my Christmas decor and give it more of a farmhouse neutral colors. I love, love, love.
game where every single day was a losing battle and every drink was a dead end. Eyes on the goal, don't lose control. I'm living fast, I've lost my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low.
Alright guys, so next DIY, I'm going to use this scrapped leftover leg from somewhere. I think it was part of a spindle. It wasn't a leg, it was a spindle from a old table that I redid and made it into a sign. And I kept them because, you know, I just always keep everything. I'm going to hot glue an E6000, a lid from a jar from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to then give everything 2 coats of that kudzu Dixie Belle chalk paint.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No
Alright guys, so we're just about done with this one. Another easy one. So if you do not have a spindle like this one, you can find them all the time, either at the thrift store or at the Habitat for Humanities. Or you can just make your own spindle using different supplies. I love the way this one turned out. I love the color and how simple, you know, just using a lid for a candle. I added one of those tea little candles that have a good shape right on top, and it's from the Dollar Tree. Beautiful.
makes me feel this way. Don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand?
Alright, so for this next DIY, I am going to use this tag sign from our Christmas Dollar Tree stash that I never used. And I'm going to just flip it over and give the backside 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, because we're going to create a beautiful farmhouse sign.
Cigarettes on the table, dirty plates on the stove. I don't know if you know where to start, but I
know where you'd like to be. I'm afraid that I've lost you, 'cause you're hiding from me.
Once it was dried, I am now going to use this leftover decal from the Dollar Tree. I love using these decals. If you have not used them yet, I highly recommend you use them. It is such a great way to add just phrases and words to signs and decor, and so inexpensive. If you don't have a cutting machine, this is a great way to go. So I have used this, this is just like I said, a portion of this decal, and it fit perfect, guys. I mean, talk about lucky, huh? I'm just going to place it towards the bottom side of the sign. And then once I have that in place, I am just going to start placing some greenery. This greenery is not from Dollar Tree. However, Dollar Tree does carry a lot of greenery that have those simple leaves similar to this one. This is just what I had on hand, but you can certainly use whatever greenery you may have or florals that you may have from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to hot glue them, not directly on the top, but more towards like the middle of the top, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to add a little loose multiple loop bow using jute rope. I got this on Amazon. Again, it's just what I had on hand, but you can certainly use jute twine from the Dollar Tree or even nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. I'm just making a very simple bow, and I'm going to hot glue it right to the center of the greenery.
Yeah, it shows that it's cost you a lot to be like the rest of us, to be like the rest of us. I've been waiting so long for.
And then to finish it off, I'm just going to add more of that jute rope and add it to, or thread it through the little hole. And that's something to be able to hang it from, although I'm not hanging it right as of yet, but I do want that as an option to hang it. And I think this sign turned out absolutely stunning. It has a very bright, just fresh looking farmhouse style, and I just love the way it turned out.
I know that is in you. I know that is in you. Dancing away with the world in your eyes. Oh, goodbye, Virginia. Goodbye, Virginia.
All right, my friends, moving along here. So this next DIY, I'm going to use 4 of these Dollar Tree canvases, and I am going to remove the canvas fabric from it. Now, removing these staples is just, I can't stand it. So I started very motivated and removed all the staples and removed everything. And then after the first one, I was like, okay, I'm done. So I removed the fabric canvas, but I just didn't remove the staples on the back. So sorry about that, but I just didn't want to go through it. It really didn't need it to be removed. So now I'm going to place them all right next to each other to create a window-like, which is what we'll be creating. And I'm going to just hot glue each one to each other and then staple them using my staple gun. And that way it'll be nice and secure. And of course, I am stapling it on the back side. So where the old staples are at, back side. So that way when I flip it over, it'll be nice and seamless in the front. And there it is, a beautiful window form using these canvases frames. So beautiful. Now I am going to give it one coat, but it's going to be a pretty heavy coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
Lost road, crossroad, ocean and sky. So searching, soul hurting, fire and ice. Raindrops, teardrops, a good old cry.
Alright guys, so now I am going to take this wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to just start putting some of those same leaf picks that I got on Amazon. I'm just going to not even hot glue them. I'm just going to kind of put them right in through that jute twine that is on there. That way I can save the wreath as well as the leaf picks and use them whenever I'm done with this decor. Again, I'm just going to place them all around and create a nice farmhouse style wreath. And I'm going to then add a screw onto the window so that I can hang the wreath from. And boy, did this turn out beautiful, guys. What a beautiful decor using mostly Dollar Tree items, but really, if you don't have these leaves, I mean, Dollar Tree has all kinds of greenery that you can use right on their wreath forms. And look how beautiful it turned out.
Daytime and nighttime, the light makes me blind. Life leaves scars. You're the only one with access to the backstage of my heart. We'll heal the broken parts. You walked this road before.
All right, guys, so for this next DIY, I'm going to use 3 of these foam balls from the Dollar Tree. Now, I got these during the Christmas season, but you can get these year-round in the craft floral section. So really, really cool ways. They have different sizes. I'm going to use 2 of the larger ones and then 1 medium-sized one. And I'm going to start by wrapping the first one using nautical rope strands. So what I do is I take the nautical ropes from the Dollar Tree. I separate all the strands, and when you separate them, you get these individual strands that look like a whole bunch of jute twine. And that's exactly what I want this first ball to have, that look. I'm just going to, very easy, just keep going around and around, hot gluing it until the entire thing is covered. For this next ball, I am going to use a mop. I thought about using yarn, but it would have taken me a lot longer. So I think mop did the job. This is from Dollar Tree, a mop that is very simple to remove its strands from. And I'm going to do the same technique. Start very small on the top and then work my way around, hot gluing as I go.
Look out, here she comes. The woman that I love. It's too bad she'll never know. Yeah, I can't tell her how I feel, because she has someone who makes her happy. I'm a ghost in these walls, or at least I try to be. 'Cause I hope that I'm not showing how I feel for her.
And for the final ball, I am going to use some moss. Recently, I created some Christmas decor using moss, and I loved it. So I thought it would be really cool to add one more ball using the moss. And again, staying with that fresh green farmhouse style that I've been going with. And same kind of style, I am just going to keep hot gluing section by section, placing the moss. And then towards the end, you just kind of want to just play with the ball. Just press it, making sure, almost like a snowball. You just want to pack it in there so that moss is as packed as possible. And then that's it for that one, guys. Another beautiful, so easy DIY that anybody can make using Dollar Tree items.
Sunny day in late July and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't wanna let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own. Ever since I got a good look in his eyes, I just knew that he was special. He said he wanted to take it slow, but I couldn't help that I wanted to take it to the next level, cause I wanted that
8
great
painter sticks. These are the regular size ones. I get these in bulk on Amazon, but you can certainly get them at the hardware store. You can get, I think it's like a little pack of like maybe 6 or 5 of them for 98 cents. Very, very inexpensive. So I'm going to line up 8 of them next to each other, but I'm going to alternate that little curved part, one going up, one going down. That way they're not all on one side. And then I am going to take 2 other ones, and I am going to measure and cut so that they fit perfectly going across each, or across the painter sticks. And I'm going to hot glue them, one on the top and one at the bottom.
take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance? Oh, I wish it was me every night. When I close my eyes, I see beauty lives in me. I know I don't.
Next, I am going to take this leftover canvas, like the fabric that's on the canvas, and I am going to cut off the parts where it's all broken and folded. And now I am going to cut shapes of leaves. There is no right or wrong way, guys. Seriously, I just want to cut them to where they have the shape of a leaf. And I'm going to cut right about, I would say 10 or 12, give or take. And I'm going to cut some larger ones than other ones.
So I trust you when you say that beauty lives in me too.
Once I have them cut, I am now going to make a slit right on the bottom of the leaf. I'm going to try, when you cut them, try to leave one end flat instead of pointy. So once you cut a slit, then you're just going to crisscross them just like that and hot glue them so that they have so they're a little bit lifted. And you're going to do that to all of them.
Later it comes later, dear. For many of us, I promise you that we learn through the wrongs and even the rough.
Now I am going to kind of fold them back. So you see what I'm doing? Just kind of bring the top a little bit back so they sit flush with the board. And I am going to here just kind of dry fit the larger ones. So I'm going to start with the larger ones and move up to the smaller ones. And I'm going to start with 4 and then, I'm sorry, not 4, 5, and then move on to 4 and then move on to 3, that kind of thing.
Can be sweet. Just close your eyes and know beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty lives in me It's gonna take some time to get there. I don't care. I'm in for the fight. It's gonna take some time.
Taking the leftover pieces of canvas, I'm just going to cut a circle to fit right in the center of the flower, hot glue it in the center. And then I'm just going to add some nautical rope to the back so that we can hang it. And that's it. How simple, how easy. And it took me, I want to say, maybe about 6-7 minutes. And that's just because I had a couple mishaps with glue where I got burned and it spilled. Other than that, it really is a quick 5-minute DIY. I love the way this one turned out.
Beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty lives in me too. Beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say.
Alright, so for this next DIY, I'm going to take one of these little tea candle glass holder, and then a one of those very almost like V-shaped candles. They are beautiful. I have never found these or saw these at Dollar Tree. Recently saw them and I grabbed a couple. And I'm going to flip over the tea candle holder, and I'm going to add some E6000 and hot glue, and then hot glue it to the bottom of the candle. I am now adding a few little evergreen picks, not evergreen. These are like frosted, almost like boxwood picks. I got several of them at the Dollar General for $1. You see the little bundle there. And I'm just going to take a couple of the little branches and hot glue them to the bottom or underneath the candle. And I'm also going to add a little tiny white flower from some flowers that I don't even know where they came from, but they were there. And I think this candle holder turned out absolutely adorable, and it could be added to any style of decor. Alright, for this next DIY, I am going to take this Dollar Tree glass vase, and I'm just going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. And I'm going to speed up the process, I am going to use my heat gun to dry it in between.
Lost road, crossroad, ocean and sky. Soul searching, soul hurting, fire and ice. Raindrops, teardrops, a good old cry. Daytime and nighttime, the light makes me blind. Life leaves scars. You're the only one with access.
I am now going to take this Dollar Tree decal number. I'm going to take number 1, but if you're going to recreate something like this, you can certainly use any number you want. I'm just going to place it right in the center in the front of the vase. And then I'm going to add some greeneries that I have had for a while that I got on Amazon. And that's it for this one. Just another easy, super beautiful DIY that anyone can make.
Of my heart will heal the broken parts. You walked this road before, and then I locked door to the backstage of my heart. No time, slow time, truth and
Alright, for this next DIY, I am going to take this canvas. But this one is on like the flat ones, the real thin ones. I'm just going to need one of them, and I'm not going to do anything to it. But I am going to take this butterfly welcome sign that I have had since the summer, and I never used it. I am going to remove the butterfly and save the welcome for another DIY.
stay till the morning light. Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? For
Once I have the butterfly, or I took out the top butterfly as you saw, I'm going to keep this one just like is. I'm just going to kind of fold the leaves, or not the leaves, the wings a little bit upwards so that way it has like a 3D effect. And I'm going to hot glue it to the bottom right of the canvas.
turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here.
To the remaining part of the butterfly, I'm going to remove the little sticks that were in the back, and I am going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the charcoal tone. And again, to speed up the process, I am going to use my heat gun to dry it in between coats.
That I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this.
Once it was dry, I am now going to fold the wings again just a little upward so that they have more of a 3D effect, and hot glue that top butterfly to the bottom one.
Find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Till the morning
I am now going to take this Dollar Tree decal and I am going to just use the bottom floral section, and I am going to place them kind of like if they're coming right from behind the butterfly going upwards, and I'm going to use both of them.
Maybe I'm just too weak, maybe I'm just afraid of being alone. Well, I don't care, 'cause right now I feel the love that we said we would burn. Oh, I know that you feel it too. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know.
And to finish things off, I'm just going to add more nautical rope to the back of this one so that we can hang it as well. And that's it for this one. Such an easy one. I love the black and white look, and it's so beautiful.
Said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight.
All right, for this next DIY, I am going to use one of these beautiful jars. It has such a beautiful, unique shape. I'm going to remove the lid and I'm going to place one of these glass knobs. I always keep these on hand. I get them on Amazon. And guys, I do have a lot of these supplies in my Amazon store, which is linked down in the description box. I'm going to use a 6000 and hot glue to secure it to the top of the lid. I am now going to take another one of those decal numbers. This time I'm going to take number 4, and I'm going to place it right in the front, but towards the bottom right of the jar.
Give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way.
And now I am going to take some jute twine from the Dollar Tree, wrap it around the base of the jar, making sure that I do not overlap where the lid is going to screw in, and make a simple knot in the front. And that's it. This one is by far probably the easiest, but is probably the most beautiful. I don't know. There's something about that glass knob that I used on top, and just leaving it simple. This could be used in the bathroom. This could be used in the kitchen. It can be used in a bedroom to store just whatever, scrunchies, whatever you may need it for. Is just so, so beautiful and so easy.
Stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you
I am using only decals from the Dollar Tree. So this time around, I am not using my Cricut, because I figured I'd show you how you can use these $1 decals from the Dollar Tree and make them into beautiful decor. So for the first one, I am taking a 22-inch board that I cut. It was a little longer. It was a piece of scrap board that my husband had in the basement, because we're kind of fixing our basement. And so I grabbed it and I cut this piece. And I'm going to use this decal from the Dollar Tree with this beautiful, it says, "Do not worry about anything, instead pray about everything." It's one of my favorite scriptures, and I think the design is absolutely beautiful. So basically, the way you work these decals is you just take off like a sticker and place them like a sticker. You just want to make sure that whatever board you're working on, you know for sure is going to fit it. That way, it's just a lot easier. Once you have everything placed where you want it, if you do need to move some things here and there, you can, and it'll still stick.
stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know.
I am going to place a couple screws right on top, In addition to showing you how you can use these Dollar Tree decals, I am also going to give you several ideas on how you can create the signs, materials to use, how to hang them, and that kind of thing. So this first one, I am going to screw a couple screws 3 inches in from each side. And then I am going to simply take one of those little like chains that you can find at the Dollar Tree. They're to hang baskets out in the summer. I am going to use one of them, remove the little hook from the end, and then I am going to use that and tighten as I can so that it is nice and snug and it will not come off. I use these little chains all the time and I love the way they look.
I didn't throw your stuff away before you make up your mind that I know where to find. I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen.
I'm going to now take some florals. These are some florals from a combination of Dollar General as well as some, the pink one is one I got on Amazon, but I'm just going to use a few of them. I'm going to tie them together in the center using some jute twine from Walmart and then hot glue it to the top of the sign right inside where the, right in the center, right in the middle on the top. And that's it, guys. This one was so easy to do and it's beautiful. This design is absolutely stunning. And I think these decals are just so easy to work with. Anyone can do it.
And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, yeah.
All right, this next sign, I am going to use these painter sticks that you can purchase at any hardware store. I do get mine in bulk from Amazon, which turned out to be very inexpensive. I am going to use, let's see, it's about 9 of them. And then I'm going to use 2 of them going horizontally. I'm going to mark them and then cut them using my shears and then hot glue them in each end to create a board.
Going back to my old hometown, picking up the years I leave behind. Getting in my car, I drive as memories fly by. Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could see. Oh,
And now I am going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one I got away? Moved a few times but ended up in Nashville. Try to settle my restless.
Once it was dry, I'm now going to use this decal from the Dollar Tree. It says wash, dry, fold, repeat. I thought it would be super cute for any laundry. I don't have a formal laundry. I mean, we do, but it's just not very pretty right now. One day we'll fix it up, but I think if this would be great to put in any laundry, and I might use it to give it as a gift. So basically, same concept. You're just gonna, take them. One thing that I learned using these through the months, through the years, is that if you're not sure where to place them, you don't have to press them, right away. You can just kind of place them gently. They won't stick much at all. And that way you can kind of see where you want to put all of them at and then move as you need and then press them down and really stick them. So again, very easy to work with. And like here, I put the dry before the bundle of clothes and it should have been the other way around. So I just removed it and switched it and it works actually fine.
Got a job that felt like forever when I met you. You made me happy, we danced through the night. Life was music and I was your wife. Time flies and the years went by, still I tried.
All Okay, so for this one, I am going to use a jute twine to hang it, and I'm just going to drill a couple holes on the top of the sign and then thread the jute twine through, knot it, and that's how we will hang this one. Again, such a very simple, very inexpensive supplies, and that Dollar Tree decal, how beautiful is that?
Sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Went for the dream, but I got lost. This house I leave is nothing like us. Chased happiness, ended up on a one-way street. We're leading nowhere. That's why I leave. Past the creek where we used to swim. Jump the fence before the summer begins and get.
For this next sign, I am going to use this leftover Christmas sign from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to flip it over. I removed the ribbon, and now I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. And this is going to be a very choppy 2 coats. I'm not looking for perfection because I want it to have a distressed look.
Give me love, give me all your love.
Once it was dry, I gently sanded it over with a 120 grit sandpaper and then dusted it. Because it already has that plank look on the sides, I decided to go ahead and just draw lines going across and highlight that plank look.
'Cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way. Don't
I am now going to take another laundry themed decal from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to place it horizontally on the board. So basically this one says laundry room, and then it has a whole list of things to do that you're not going to do. It's really cute. I really like this one. So I decided to cut. That's another wonderful thing about these decals is you can cut as you need it to fit the board that you have available. So in this case, I'm going to cut several of them, and I'm going to place them 1 in the center on the top and then 2 on each side, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But again, very easy to work with.
what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand? Look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be all.
So these little bundles of fabric I do get at Walmart, and they have several styles in each bundle, and they have about, I think it's like a quarter of a yard, and it's really cool, some really cool prints. So I'm going to use this one to hot glue it on the back. That way it doesn't have that Santa design, although it's pretty. It just doesn't go with the black and white theme here. So I'm just going to cut a piece, hot glue it to the back, and then trimming the edges with an X-Acto knife. That way it'll be nicely trimmed and groomed around it.
I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love. All that we have is each other now. Promise you won't leave my side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm giving you my love, giving you my love, love.
And look how cute it looks. And now it just looks clean and looks professional. So even if I wanted to gift it to somebody, it looks like it just, you know, professional. So now I'm just going to poke here, find the holes, and just poke a hole all the way through. I'm going to use a leftover chain from that chain that we used earlier. And at this time, I'm going to use 2 of the hooks and hook it there. Now, when I hooked them up, it just was a little bit too long. So I ended up removing some links and then moving the hook a little further down, and that way it was a little bit more appropriate sized for the board. And that's it for this one, guys. Another beautiful one and so easy to make.
Tell me what you wanna do. I'll do anything. As long as I can be here with you, everything's alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer.
All right, so for this next sign, I am going to use another one of those boards. This is part of that same board I used in the first sign. This is just part of the leftover. And it's around the same size, and I'm just going to give it another rough one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint and the linen white. And then once again, sanded it down with a 220 grit sandpaper, this time just focusing more on the edges. Once I was done with that, I am now going to take this Dollar Tree decal. It says, "Let your dreams take flight," which is beautiful. And this is going to be a really good example of me just kind of placing it lightly. And then until I have the other one placed in place, and that way I can move it as needed. What a beautiful, beautiful color gold tone. And I am using a lot of white because these decals just look great against that white. But I think any of these and any other color, lighter color, I think will look great. Like maybe like a light pink or a baby blue will look very beautiful as well. So now that I have it where I need it to be, I'm just going to press it down. And in this one, I am going to have these little eye hooks on the board. So I'm just going to screw a screw on the sides, just about a 1/2 inch from the top, and then unscrew it back out. That's just to give me a nice hole so that I can screw in the eye hooks. And then I am going to take a small screwdriver to help me out because it does get tight there. And that way it'll be all the way in, and I'll do that on the same side as well, or on the other side as well.
Say, take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance? Oh, I wish it was me every night.
I am now going to take some more of that jute twine from Walmart. You can also use the jute twine from Dollar Tree. This is just what I have on hand. Walmart has a larger quantity, and it's pretty inexpensive, so I do like to buy it there. I'm just going to thread it through each eye hook, and then I'm just going to tie it on the top, and it's going to have like a double jute twine hanging rope, and I think it looks super cute. Another beautiful, beautiful design with that Dollar Tree decal.
When I close my eyes, I see beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty lives in me too.
All right, guys, so this next sign, I am going to use this Dollar Tree canvas, and I am going to use some foam board from the Dollar Tree as well. I am going to use the canvas here to kind of measure out and be able to know where I want to cut using my X-Acto knife. Basically, what I want to create is a kind of like a base, and to create a little bit more, a larger sign, or give the illusion of a larger sign, and also create like a border. So I'm just going to cut it to size, and the more exact the cut, the better and the nicer the sign's going to look. I'm going to use Waverly chalk paint, and this is in the tone ink, and I'm just going to paint just about 1 to 2 inches on each side and let it dry. I am now going to take the canvas. I'm not going to paint it or anything. I love the tone, the natural tone it had. I'm just going to place hot glue on all the edges and then hot glue it right on top.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again.
I am now going to take this Hello Sunshine decal from the Dollar Tree, And once again, just place it evenly on the board. And that's it for this one. I'm going to add a small jute twine on the back with hot glue just to show you another way that you can hang these boards, especially like this one, which is very, very lightweight. And what a beautiful board, what a beautiful sign that you can place anywhere in your home.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way, don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand, look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be alright. I'll be right.
Let's start with these 4 boards here. It used to be a longer one, and I cut them to what would be almost a square, but not quite. It's a little bit of rectangle, but it'll work for what I needed. So I'm just going to give them a quick sand here and make sure that they're nicely dusted. And then to start painting, I am going to give them one pretty heavy coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
Stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away.
And once the paint was dry, I am now going to distress them, basically focusing on the edges using a 220 grit sandpaper and my hand sander.
Make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find. I'm standing right here. I know
Using my Cricut, I cut out the word home in capital letters, and I also assigned them the appropriate numeric number. Yeah, numeric number. As I would be on a Scrabble game. So you've seen these Scrabble tiles, right? The ones that you can put on the wall, you can spell out names, and they look very cute. I've never done them myself, so I thought I'd give them a try, but I'm going to give them a spin that's a little different. So I'm just going to start placing them right on the tiles.
you were over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight.
Alright, so to hang them, I am going to give them little hooks to connect to each other. So I am going to measure here 1.5 inches from the outside and of each tile. Now on the top letter, it's going to be only on the bottom of the letter, and on the bottom letter is only going to be on the top of the tile. Now the 2 middle tiles are going to have them on both the top and the bottom. And now I am using a screw to just screw it in and screw it right back out just to create a little hole. And then I'm going to be able to just screw in the little hooks that I believe I got on Amazon, but I could be wrong. Maybe I did get them at the hardware store, but you can find them anywhere. These are white, but you can find them in black as well as stainless steel.
Do this right, we'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, yeah. Till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, yeah.
So what I am doing is the little hooks that are on top, I am going to face them front and back, so no sideways. So kind of like front to back. Now the ones that are on the bottom, I'm going to set them to where they're sideways, just like that. That way they can connect to each other nicely.
Maybe I'm just too weak, maybe I'm just afraid of being alone. Well, I don't care, 'cause right now I feel the love that we said we would burn. Oh, I know that you feel it too. I know that
And this is where it all makes sense. You see how they connect because one or two of them are facing one way and the other one the other way. And that way they just connect nicely. So on the top one, I am going to add a claw hook, and that's where it would hang. And that's it. Isn't this like a super easy DIY? You need a few tools, but nothing very intimidating. I did use my miter saw to cut the tiles, but if you have foam board, you can create them with foam board. You can use this to inspire you in so many ways, but I love using my tools and wood, so this was a perfect project for me.
When you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy.
All right, so for this next DIY, so simple, guys. Anyone can make this. I'm going to use these jumbo crafting sticks that I got at Walmart. They come a whole bunch for like, I want to say it was like $3. And I am going to use several here. I am going to take 3, and then a 4th one, I am going to crisscross, hot gluing them together. That way it'll be nicely secure. And I'm just making sure that the stick that is across actually stays within the 3. So I'm making sure that the circle part kind of matches with the top and the bottom. I'm going to create another one with 3, and then I'm going to create 2 of them with just 2.
Going back to my old hometown, picking up the years I leave behind. Getting in my car, I drive as memories fly by. Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could see. Oh,
So what I want to create with these little panels now, I am going to create a very farmhouse style floral vase. So I'm going to take this scrap piece of foam board. This is just so that the florals that I add does not go all the way through, and it also acts a little bit more for stability for the vase. So I'm just going to hot glue it just about, I don't know, maybe about 1.5 inches from the bottom. Now this one here, some of the craft sticks were a little bowed, so I did have to take a piece of another one and just hot glue it on top just to add or to keep them straight. But that's it. I just only had it to add it to that one. And then I am going to hot glue all of the sides, making it a nice sturdy vase. And I'm also going to hot glue all the edges to each other, and that way it kind of brings it all together.
sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Moved a few times, but ended up in Nashville. Tried to settle my restless soul. Got a job that felt like forever when I met you. You made me happy, we danced through the night. Life was music and I was your wife. Time flies and the years went by.
Once everything was dry and all together, it's time to give it one pretty heavy coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
Oh, sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on.
And once the paint was dry, I am now adding some antiquing wax. This is by Waverly in their brown tone. I'm just adding them here and there just to add a little bit of dimension and a distressed look.
Myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Went for the dream, but I got lost. This house I leave is nothing like us. Chased happiness, ended up on a one-way street.
I am now going to wrap jute twine all around. I want this to look like the jute twine is kind of holding together these wooden sticks, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to wrap it around twice and make a very simple knot in the front.
Nowhere, that's why I leave. Past the creek where we used to swim, jump the fence before the summer begins, and getting cool in the summer heat with you, my sweet. Sitting in the back of your car.
And now I'm going to add these grassy florals that I got on Amazon, really inexpensive, and I use them all the time. I love how bright and how versatile they are. And this little vase turned out so adorable.
I met him on a sunny day in late July, and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned.
So for this next DIY, I am going to take 2 of the canvases from the Dollar Tree and remove the canvas from both of them. Once I had the frames all set, I am going to hot glue them together long ways. So I'm going to create like a long frame for this next DIY. Once I have them hot glued, I am going to turn them around and staple them for more stability. And then I am going to give it 1 coat of Waverly chalk paint in their ink tone.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again. Driving this like a spiritual cleanse, where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away.
Once the paint was dry, I am going to add some crafting chicken wire. This is very flexible, a lot easier to work with than the real chicken wire from the hardware store. And I'm going to staple it in place and then cut the excess so that I have a nice fit to the frame. And then I am going to make sure that anything that is sticking out that would scratch or cut anything or anyone, I'm going to make sure that I fold them inwards, and that way they're not sticking out. And then I decided to add this ribbon. This is actually not ribbon. This is actually part of a Dollar Tree hat that I pulled apart several months ago for DIYs that I did then. And I'm just going to have whatever I have left over. I'm just going to wrap it or hot glue it to the front of the frame. This will give it just some texture that I just kind of wanted it to have. And yeah, I'm just going to hot glue it, and then I'm going to paint the ribbon black as well.
Running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. Neon lights in the fast lane life, riding high, reaching for the sky. I had it all but lost and fell back down again. Spent my time playing the game where every single day was a losing battle and every drink was a dead end. Eyes on the goal, don't lose control. I'm living fast, I've lost my soul. I'm driving to get away. Running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day.
And now it's time to add some florals. I'm just going to make a little swag here for the top of the frame using Dollar General florals as well as some Dollar Tree frosted grassy picks. And I'm going to secure it in the middle with some jute twine, wrap it around, secure it with hot glue, and then I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of the frame. In that way, it just adds a very, I don't know, maybe farmhouse, modern farmhouse look to it. I really love the way this turned out. It's a perfect place to add pictures. I will be adding some mini clothespins to it. You can put notes on here. I just think it's perfect for a small little wall area that may be needing some wall decor.
How did I get caught? The walls are caving in. How come I got lost?
Alright, so for this next DIY, I am going to use this jar from the Dollar Tree and this tape as well from the Dollar Tree. I removed the lid from the jar, and I'm now going to place the tape in random shape, but it all turned out to be kind of like an X form. And basically what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to paint the jar in that black ink tone paint from Waverly, and I want to be able to remove the tape and then have the clear glass show through. When I painted it black, it actually painted very well, except I should have done 2 coats. At first, I thought it was sufficient because it looked dark enough, but in the end, after I had already removed the tape, I realized that I'm going to put little lights inside to light it up. It was not enough. I should have done 2 coats. So if you're going to redo something like this or recreate something like this, my suggestion is to do 2 coats. I should have done it, but once I removed the tape, it would have been very difficult to kind of like match this design. So I just left it as is, but just, you know, live and learn kind of thing. I did get some bleed through, so I did have to clean that up with a wet rag.
Lost road, crossroad, ocean and sky. So searching, soul hurting, fire.
I wrapped some jute twine at the top of the jar, wrapped it around a few times, made a simple knot in the front. And then I added the lights that I mentioned earlier. They are from the Dollar General. They're $5 and a good size of them. You get 30 lights. They're battery operated. And at first I thought I could just put them in just like this, like they came out of the package. But I did have to remove the tie and just put them all in. But no big deal. It worked out in the end, and it looked absolutely stunning. I added this frosted greenery picks that I have had for a while, and they just look absolutely stunning. Again, I wish I would have done 2 coats, but overall I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. And this is it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Click on it. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.